Hey everyone, it's me, your host, Evan Campbell. And on this video of the Blue Ridge Hunters, we're going to be talking about the gear you need to get in the woods to go turkey hunting if you're a beginner. So you're going to see some stuff here behind me that I'm going to go over in this video. This is going to be for anybody who either has no experience or little to none. So if you don't have any gear or if you just have a few things or you're kind of confused on what you need, I hope this video will shed some light on that. We are not going to talk about licenses or shotguns in this video though, but just know you're going to need your hunting license with a turkey stamp or turkey tag, whatever that is in your state, and a shotgun. If you do not own a shotgun, you can find plenty of brand new shotguns for under 250 bucks that will kill a turkey. And ammo, just keep it easy. Think a high brass shell with a 5, 6, or maybe even a 7 shot size. You can look the information up online. It's really easy to understand. The boxes will have a turkey on it. They don't have to be expensive. You do not need tungsten ammo to go kill a turkey. Does it make it easier? If you can't call them in inside 40 yards, you might want that. But as a beginner, that's an expense you don't need to be spending. So just keep it simple, low stress, get out in the woods and have some fun. And remember, you can't kill a turkey sitting on the couch at your house. You have to get out in the woods. So let's dive into this video and I hope it helps you. All right, let's jump right into it. So first off, let's talk about camo. You're going to have yourself some camo. Here is a camo hoodie from Cabela's. It's not super warm, but you can layer underneath it. You can pick this up relatively cheap. You're going to have some camo to keep your upper body hid. Along with that, you're going to want some gloves. I've probably had these gloves for close to 15 years. These are made by Primos. I probably picked these up at Walmart or somewhere and actually cut the fingers out of them because you're going to need that to feel with your fingertips, especially on the trigger or with the calls. But don't let that bother you. Just pick you up some gloves, cover your hands, even just some solid brown gloves. They don't have to be camo, just something to cover your hands up. Next, you're definitely going to need a face mask. Also, I've probably had this face mask for close to 15 years. This is the type that covers your whole head. You have a hole here for your face, got a nose piece, and some elastic straps to go around your head. You're definitely going to need a face mask to keep your face and neck and eyes out of view from a turkey as much as possible because they can pick up on just the slightest movement. Here's another type. This just goes around your neck and you would pull it up and put this above the bridge of your nose so only your eyes will be sticking out if you're wearing a hat. I personally don't like to wear a hat with a bill on it on turkey hunting. I think that leaves a little bit more for turkey to see if there's any movement with your head. I like one like this. Again, this face mask is probably a less than $10 item. The gloves should be probably less than $20. Um, the hoodie or jacket you pick could be more costly than 50 bucks, but we'll just throw the number out for 50 bucks. Okay, so we're going to have some camo. We'll set that over here. Next, you are going to have some calls. When I'm talking calls, I'm talking just a very basic entry-level call as this slate call. Some people call these a pot call, but I just call it a slate call. This is a plastic slate call made by Primos. This is old. This is probably close to 20 years old, but this is what I use. You can look up some really great videos on how to use this call. I mean, like I said, I've had this for 20 years and I've never had an issue with it. You can listen to it. Super easy to learn on. Super easy. You should be able to pick one of these up probably nowadays. I don't know, again, less than 50 bucks, probably a lot cheaper than that if you look, but you're going to need a call. I would say go with this. If you do not have a call and you can only afford one call, go with this slate call. They're easy to use. I mean, if you've got two hands and you can scratch, you can make a noise. So you'll want that. If you are more confident in yourself, you want to try a different type call, you could go with a mouth call or what some people call a diaphragm call. These are made by Phelps, but there's some also really other great brands. Like Primos makes some really good ones, Woodhaven. These just go in your mouth and you wedge it between the top of your mouth and your tongue. You blow through it. A little bit harder to master, but these are also very inexpensive to pick up. So if it's in your budget, you may want to try it. Another call that is also very easy to run is a box call. This is one that I made. Um, Works pretty good. The only thing I don't like about this is just there's a lot of movement to it. But then again, it's super easy to use. A box call, I mean, they can get very costly. They can go $100 or into the hundreds, but you can pick up a good box call for probably less than $75. But I would put this call behind a slate call, or some of them would be glass, but a slate one's going to be cheaper. I'm talking about the surface here. So if it was me personally, if I can only afford one call, it would be a slate call, probably made by Primos or Cabela's Redhead. They're all going to be pretty close to the same, followed by a diaphragm call. You should be able to pick up a pack of these for less than $15, maybe even less than 10 if you catch them on sale. So you can get set up with some calls pretty cheap. You can practice with these going down the road in your car. So they're real easy to practice with. You may not want to be doing it in the house if you've got a spouse or some kids, drive some people crazy, but you can play just a simple YouTube video of somebody using one of these in the vehicle. You can listen to it, and then you can try to mimic that. Very easy to understand. Likewise with this slate call. These box calls are pretty easy to use, but they can be costly and they can be finicky if you're new to it. There's a lot of movement to that. You have to use two hands. If you get good with this, you don't have to use two hands. You can kind of wedge this up on your knee and scratch, or they actually make a holder that goes on your knee, but we'll talk about that later since this is just for a basic entry level video on what you need. Okay, the other thing that I think you will need is a locator call. So you're going to want this in your arsenal. This is simply an owl hooter call. I mean, it does what it says. I'll let you listen to it. You're going to use one of these late in the morning if you're trying to locate a bird, or early in the morning if you're going in blind. Um, this is a plastic one. Again, made by Primos, probably 15 years old, if not older. I probably got all this around the same time. Works great. I've used it in Virginia, Tennessee, Nebraska, and killed birds. This is probably the most popular style locator call you're going to find. You can find these probably at any sporting goods store that sells hunting equipment. Very easy to use, very easy to understand, very inexpensive, probably a less than $20 item. Another locator call, I don't use it a ton, but a lot of people do, is a crow call. They're a little bit more costly because they kind of work off of a reed, got a few more pieces. Um, I keep one in my bag with me, but you do not have to have this. Okay. There's other types of locator calls, like here's a hawk call. It just makes the noise of a hawk. Made by Woodhaven, a little bit more costly, but I don't think you would need this right off the bat. So we're not even going to talk about that. I'm going to set this locator call out of the way, this box call out of the way, and this crow call out of the way. So far as calling and locating birds, you're going to want to pick up an owl hooter, pick you up a slate call, and maybe some diaphragm calls. You don't even have to have this. You can go in the woods with these two and kill a bird. So I'm actually just going to pitch this off here to the side because actually the bird I killed this year was with these two items. That was it. I had a mouth call in my mouth, but I actually never used it. And the second bird I killed this year was my friend, and I think all we used was a box call paired with my slate call. Again, I don't think you need this just starting out, but it's a good option if it's in your budget and you want to learn another call or maybe have another sound in your arsenal. So those are good options, but just remember you're going to need you some camo, gloves, face mask, and some sort of jacket. You don't have to have it on your lower body. You can go with like some darker colored pants, but camo pants would be good. You don't have to have that. Just hide yourself real well. Again, I think you could acquire all these things here for less than $150, probably less than 100 if you're real savvy. Cabela's, Bass Pro, Midway, your local sporting goods store. Check those out. And remember, you don't have to have the fanciest stuff. I've been turkey hunting for a long time, and I don't have the fanciest stuff. You don't have to have it. It does not make you a better turkey hunter. Do some calls sound better? They do. But if you don't know how to run and operate it, you don't have the basics down, it's not going to do you any good. But this call, It's very plain Jane. Take a look at it. I've had this for a long time and it works great. I've used it, like I said, in Virginia, Tennessee, Nebraska, and done excellent. Another thing, let's talk about decoys for one quick second. If you're new to turkey hunting and you're coming in, don't run out and buy a decoy. They are expensive. They're hard to carry. You get mixed results with them sometimes. So just leave that for another day. We're not going to talk about that right now. So just put decoys out of your mind. You don't have to have it. Stick to the basics, and I hope this helps.